Hello friends, welcome back. In last lecture, we have started the second section of our course, that is the carbohydrate chemistry, and we have already seen the introductory part of the carbohydrate, that is the definition and the classification of carbohydrate. So let's continue. Our next point is the D and L notation. So the D and L are the notation or the configuration used for the carbohydrates and the amino acid. The D and L used to describe the configuration of carbohydrates and amino acid. The glyceraldehyde is the simplest carbohydrate molecule. In the glyceraldehyde, there are 3 number of carbon and it is a chiral compound. Therefore, the first simplest molecule of carbohydrate is the glyceraldehyde. So, the glyceraldehyde has been chosen as the arbitrary standard for the D and L notation in sugar chemistry because this has an asymmetric carbon and can exist as a pair of enantiomer. So the D and L notation used for the carbohydrate and the amino acid, and the first simplest molecule of the carbohydrate is the glyceraldehyde because the glyceraldehyde molecule has 3 number of carbon, okay, and this is the chiral compound. So it shows the enantiomers like this. This is the simple structure for the glyceraldehyde, and here you can see this is the chiral carbon. This is the first carbon atom which is the functional group aldehyde, and the second carbon atom here it is a one hydrogen and one OH group, and the last that is the CH2OH. That means the penultimate functional group on the right side. This is the penultimate functional group on the right side. Therefore, it can shows the D configuration. Hence, here we write the D glyceraldehyde. That means, and here the penultimate functional group is on the left hand side. Therefore, here we write the L glyceraldehyde. So, it can exist the pair of enantiomer. This D-glyceraldehyde and the N-glyceraldehyde are the enantiomer of each other because these are the non-superimposable mirror images. That is called the enantiomer. So, in the chiral center, if molecule that is the penultimate functional group is on the right hand side, then it can be noted as a D, and if it is present on the left hand side, then it is noted L. So here we have a molecule that is the D-glucose. The glucose is a 6-member carbon containing sugar molecule, that is a glucose, and here this is the penultimate functional group is present on the right hand side. Hence here we write this is the D series or a D glucose, and here the OH on the left hand side. Therefore this is the L glucose. That means in a Fischer projection, the carbonyl group is always placed on the top side. Okay. So for the writing the structure of the carbohydrate molecule, in the Fischer projection always place the functional group on the top side, and from its structure, if the OH group attached to the bottommost asymmetric center, this is the bottom carbon atom, and this asymmetric center, the OH group on this last asymmetric carbon is present on the right hand side, then the compound is a D sugar, and if this OH group is on the left hand side, then the compound is the L sugar. So the almost all sugars found in nature are the D sugars. Okay. So in the Fischer projection, the carbonyl group is always placed on the top position for the monosaccharide. This glucose is a monosaccharide, and the functional group is present in the Fischer projection on the top side. From its structure, the OH group attached to the bottommost asymmetric carbon. The last asymmetric carbon is this chiral carbon is asymmetric, and the OH present the Second, from this bottom group is present on the right side, then it is the D sugar, and if it is present on the left hand side, then it is the L sugar. So these are the D and L nomenclatures. So the like R and S, the D and L indicate the configuration of asymmetric carbon, but they do not indicate whether the compound rotates polarized light to the right or the left. For example, the D-glyceraldehyde is the dextrorotatory, whereas the D-lactic acid is the levorotatory. That means the D-glyceraldehyde is a dextrorotatory. That means every time the D molecule is not a dextrorotatory. Why? Because here the D-lactic acid is also the shows the D notation, but it can the levorotatory. In other words, the optical rotation, like the melting point or a boiling point, it is a physical property. That means the optical rotation is a physical property of a compound, whereas the R, S, D and L are the conventions human used to indicate the configuration of molecules. So this is the D-glyceraldehyde and this is the L-lactic acid. That means here the OH is present on the right hand side, but this is the L notation. It gives the L-lactic acid. The next point is the configuration of aldoses. Aldoses means the sugar containing aldehyde functional group. Therefore, it can call the aldoses. So, first one is a aldotetroses. That means this sugar containing 4 carbon atoms. The structural formula for the aldotetrose is CH2OH, CHOH, CHOH and CHO. That means if we can write in the Fischer projection, here the first carbon, that is a aldehydic CHO, then CHOH, CHOH and last one is a CH2OH. There are 4 stereoisomer, that are the 2 pairs of enantiomer. Those stereoisomer correspond to the D and L erythrose and D and L threose. So you can see here the D erythrose molecule. This is the aldotetrose sugar. In this molecule, the penultimate functional group, this OH, is present on the right hand side. Therefore, here we write the D, and the both OH are present on the same side. It is a D erythrose molecule. This is the L erythrose. That is the OH present on the left hand side, but the both OH on the same side. Therefore, it is the L erythrose. This is the D threose. These OH present on the right hand side, but these two OH are on the opposite side. Therefore, it is the D threose, and this one is the L threose. So, these D and L erythrose and D threose and L threose are the 2 pair of enantiomer, because these two are the non-superimposable mirror image and these two are the non-superimposable mirror images. So these 4 stereoisomer, the stereoisomer correspond to D and L erythrose, D and L threose. Next one is a aldopentoses. So the name itself suggests there are the 5 number of carbon containing the aldehydic functional group. This is the aldopentose since it contains the 3 asymmetric carbon and there are 8 stereoisomer, that are the 4 pairs of enantiomer possible. Those are the D and L forms of ribose, arabinose, xylose and lactose. So in later on we have seen the structures for these aldopentoses. So the structural formula for the aldopentose is CHO, CHOH, CHOH, CHOH and CH2OH. That means there are these 3 carbons are the chiral carbons. The next one is the aldohexose. They have the 4 asymmetric center and therefore 16 stereoisomer and 8 pair of enantiomer. The 4 D-aldopentose and 8 D-aldohexose are shown below. So let's see configuration of D-aldoses. So the simplest form of aldose is the D-glyceraldehyde. Therefore, we have start the configuration of aldoses from the glyceraldehyde molecule. So here it is a structure for the D-glyceraldehyde, and while writing the structures for the aldoses, we write here the first structure is the D-glyceraldehyde, and this D-glyceraldehyde is convert, this is the triose molecule, okay, because here it is a 3 carbon atoms, this is the chiral compound, and here there are 3 carbon atoms, and this sugar is called a triose and it is converted into tetrose. So therefore here it is a 2 molecules of tetrose. So while writing the first molecule of this tetrose sugar, just add 1 carbon atom after this aldehydic functional group. So you can write here, this is the CHO, this CHO, okay. Then after this aldehydic group, write 1 chiral carbon that contains the hydrogen and OH group. After this aldehydic group and other moiety is remains as it is. That means only we have add this functional group, that is the OH, and this is the structure for D-erythrose, that is the tetrose sugar, okay. So when we have write the D-erythrose or this tetrose sugar, just add 1 carbon which contain 1 hydrogen and OH group. So here we have a 2 side. This is the left hand side and this is the right hand side. So in the left hand side structure, we write the hydrogen on this left hand side, okay, not the right hand side. So right hand side we write the OH and left hand side we write this hydrogen, okay. So this is the left hand side molecule, that is the D-erythrose. We write this hydrogen on the left hand side, and while the writing the next structure for the tetrose, we write this hydrogen on the right hand side, okay. So here we write this hydrogen over here, and here it is a OH group. This is the structure for D-threose. So the D-erythrose, that means erythro means the same side OH, and here it is a D-threose. So why here we write the D? Because this OH on the right hand side, therefore we can write here the D-erythrose. And in this molecule, here also the penultimate functional group, that is this OH, is on the right hand side, therefore here we write the D-threose, because this OH and this OH are on the different side, therefore here we write the D-threose. So remember one thing while writing the structures for this aldoses, first molecule is the D-glyceraldehyde, then this D-glyceraldehyde is a triose molecule. When it is converted to the tetrose, that means 1 carbon atom is added. So this 1 carbon atom is added after this aldehydic group. So here we write the 1 carbon atom extra, and here we write the 1 carbon atom. But only the difference in these two structures, the left hand side structures, we write the hydrogen on the left hand side, and in right hand side structure we write the hydrogen on the right hand side. So this is the tetrose sugars, this is the D-erythro and this is the D-threose. So in next step, this tetrose is converted into pentose sugar. Again this D-erythrose is formed 2 sugars, that is the first one is a D-ribose. So here we write 1 more carbon atom here added. So this 1 carbon atom is added after this aldehydic functional group. So you can write here this added carbon atom, this chiral carbon, okay. And again this structure is the left hand side. This structure is the left hand side. Therefore, we write the hydrogen on the left hand side. Okay. So here we write this hydrogen on left hand side. So this sugar is called the D-ribose. And again this D-erythrose is converted into this D-arabinose. Only the difference, the carbon atom is added after this aldehydic group and we write the hydrogen on the right hand side. And other moiety is remains same. Only the difference here this chiral carbon and here this chiral carbon atom. This is the left hand side. Here we write the hydrogen on the left side and in this molecule we write the hydrogen on the right hand side. Again this D-threose converted into pentose sugar. The first, in this first we added one more carbon atom after the aldehydic group, that is this carbon atom. This is the left hand side molecule of this D-threose. Hence we write the hydrogen on the left hand side and in the D-lixose molecule, that is this pentose sugar. Here we added one more carbon atom after this aldehydic group and we write the hydrogen on right hand side because this is the right hand side molecule for the D-threose. This is the D-lixose. So from starting the D-glyceraldehyde, this is the triose sugar. It can be converted into these tetrose. The two tetrose are the D-erythrose and the D-threose. Again the D-erythrose forms the D-ribose and D-arabinose while the D-threose forms D-xylose and the D-lixose. So here we can write get Raxel. Here the first initial is the G E T, that is the get, and R A X L, that means get Raxel. For the remembering the structures we can write the short form, that is the get Raxel. Again this D-ribose can be converted. Let's see. This D-ribose, okay, and this D-ribose, it is a pentose sugar because here there are 5 carbon atoms and it can be converted into hexose. So how it can converted? So first of all we write our 4 pentose sugar, that is the D-ribose, D-arabinose, D-xylose and D-lixose. So again this D-ribose can be converted into 2 hexose molecule. The first one is a D-allose. So here this is the hexose. Hence here we write the 6 carbon atom. These are the 5 carbon atoms and only after adding 1 carbon atom over here. Okay. So we write here one more carbon atom and this is the left hand side structure. Therefore we write the hydrogen on the left hand side. Okay. So this is the structure for the D-allose. This is the hexose sugar. Again in next right hand side molecule we added 1 carbon atom after this aldehydic group and we write the hydrogen on the right hand side. This is the left hand side molecule. This is the right hand side molecule for the D-ribose. So we write the hydrogen on the right hand side. So these two are hexose for this D-ribose. Okay. Again same for the D-arabinose. Here are the 5 number of carbon atoms. So conversion for in the hexose we added 1 carbon atom here after this CHO group. So for the left hand side molecule we write the hydrogen over here left hand side and for the right hand side molecule we write hydrogen over the right hand side. So this is the structure for the D-glucose and this is the structure for the D-mannose. So D-glucose and the D-mannose comes from this D-arabinose sugar. So from the D-xylose we get the D-glucose. In the structure, the D-glucose, the hydrogen in the left hand side, and in the D-iodose, the hydrogen over the right hand side. Just added one carbon atom here, and for the left hand side, here it is hydrogen on left hand side, and the hydrogen in the D-iodose is the right hand side. So from the lysose, we got the D-galactose and D-talose. So here we get the hexose molecule, that are the, so these are 8 aldohexoses molecule coming from these 4 aldopentose molecules. So the next important topic is the epimer. So what are the epimers? Epimers are the diastereomers. Okay. Only the difference is the configuration of the one carbon atom, one asymmetric center is the different in the epimers. So the epimers are the stereoisomer that differ in the configuration of only one asymmetric carbon of enantiomer or a diastereomer. For example, the D-glucose and D-mannose are the C2 epimer, and D-glucose and the D-talose are the C3 epimer. D-fructose and D-tagatose are the C4 epimers of the ketohexose. That means the epimers are the diastereomers or the enantiomers. Okay, but only the difference in the configuration of only one asymmetric carbon atom. That means you can see here, this is the structure for D-glucose. Okay, and if you can write the configuration of this chiral center, this is the R configuration. Okay, so first priority goes to this oxygen, then second priority goes to this carbon, the third one for this group, and last one is for the 4 of this hydrogen. Okay, so rotate the first, second, third and fourth. So it can rotate the anti-clockwise, but this hydrogen on the horizontal line, therefore this S converted into R. So configuration of this chiral center is R configuration. Okay, this is the D-glucose and this chiral carbon contains the R configuration. Okay, so this carbon atom contains S, this is R, and this is also R configuration. This is the structure for the D-mannose. So in this structure, the OH is on the left hand side, therefore the configuration of this chiral carbon atom is S configuration, but the configuration of this chiral center, these 3 chiral centers are the same. That means here this is the R configuration, this is R configuration, but this carbon contains the S configuration. Okay, and here also this S, R and R. That means these 3 chiral centers and these 3 chiral centers having the same configuration, only the difference of this one chiral center, that is this is the R and this is S. So these two, that is the D-glucose and D-mannose, are the epimer. That means what are the epimers? The epimers are the stereoisomers that differs in the configuration of only one asymmetric center. So here the difference is only the configuration of one asymmetric center, that is here it is a R and here it is a S. This is only the difference. Therefore this D-glucose and D-mannose are the epimers of each other. Okay, so these are the C2 epimers because the chiral the difference in configuration is the second number of carbon, therefore these are the C2 epimers. This is the D-iodose, here we write this third number of carbon and this OH group on the right hand side, and in the D-talose the OH on the left hand side. So only the difference between these two configuration of these two chiral centers other are the same. Therefore D-talose and the D-iodose are the epimers of each other, and the chiral center, the chiral carbon, is a third number of carbon atom. Therefore here we can write the C3 epimers. Therefore the D iodose and the D-talose are the C3-epimers, and the D-fructose and the D-tagatose are the C4-epimers, because the difference in the chiral centers are the fourth number carbon. Therefore, this D-fructose and the D-tagatose are the C4-epimers. I hope you understand. Thank you for watching.